Everybody, what's up? This is Lone Wolfen and my brother with Sama.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, welcome to episode 9 of this podcast. Yes, and uh, right now we have hmm, right now our main topic Christ. Our main topic of today is about whitewashing in Hollywood. Uh, and I have a good amount of people who are. I have some three examples of whitewashing in Hollywood. However, my thoughts on the whole whitewashing thing would make sense if people knew the context of what's happening. Anyways, to start things off, let's talk about let us talk about the first film we're gonna talk about is the film Doctor Strange. In the film, Doctor Strange was taught by a character called the Ancient One, who in the comics was supposed to be a Tibetan monk, but was changed to a Celtic woman in the film. Um, Uh, yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Um,
I could give out the reason why, but
I think we spoke about it before. So, just repeat the question again. I'm sorry, because this is about Doctor Strange, but I forget the
yeah, but
context.
like I said, people need to know the context of what's going on, and they uh they need to be told. In the comics, the Ancient One, and who taught Doctor Strange, he was supposed to be a Tibetan man. However, it was changed to a Celtic woman. Let me just give out the reason why that is due to the fact that a good portion of the market is in China, and the Chinese were these governments are not very fans of Tibetan stuff. Hmm. You know what? Any thoughts on that?
Um, so I'm sorry, because I'm not like the most familiar. So because
I was
China isn't a fan of Tibet,
Yeah,
th-
they took over Tibet like decades ago and has exiled many Tibetan monks.
so that's why they took out the Tibetan stuff from the show and put a Celtic warrior instead, or a Celtic woman.
Yeah, in the film, changed to a Celtic one because of stuff happening in China.
Oh, so what did it? Are they scared of China's fury?
Yeah, most likely they're not going to get much of an audience if the government is going to not promote a film that they think would promote Tibetan Buddhism.
No, was this film exclusive in China though?
No, it's all
Well,
over
that's
the
what I'm
world.
saying. So that's why I don't know why that would matter. They had this movie came out not too long ago. Shoot, I want to say it's called The Interview. I could be wrong, but it's a
Okay.
movie. I believe it had James Franco in it.
Oh, the
I might be.
interviews. It was the one about North Korea.
Yeah, and it had and then like North Korea threatened like that movie better not get released or whatever. And so they never I don't think they ever released it in theaters. Or if
Yeah,
they did release it in theaters, it was very like short viewing period, and then they like had it like online for people to watch.
yeah. It's on
So
Netflix right now. So
yeah, well, so were people outraged because they changed it from like a Tibetan like person to a Celtic woman because like they're like,
yeah,
oh, they're just yeah, I think well, if that's the reason why they changed it, I don't see a problem with it. Like
right.
if they changed it because of like outside influences that are like beyond the whole like you know what I mean like that have like actual like maybe like physical ramifications or if like the the financial like blow is too harsh from like them not being able to play the movie in China, then
Right.
yeah maybe, but yeah, if that's the case I don't see a problem with it. It's not like they deliberately said, oh no, we're gonna put a white woman in this role. Like no, there was a reason why they had to do it.
Right. And yet people are still up in arms about it because they changed something that was in the comics. So, hmm, yeah, it's difficult to say. Up next in the films, we might need to talk about. Have you seen the anime or manga of Ghost in the Shell?
um I mean I haven't seen it personally, but I have like heard of it.
Right. I actually wanted to. When I first heard about the Ghost in the Shell movie made in America, pe- I found people who are up in arms about it because the main character is played by a white woman. What's her name? Uh, Scarlett Johansson. It's actually, even though I found some info that really puts a damper on the whole whitewashing thing on the film. Um, the information being that in the manga and anime, I found out that even though the main character started off Asian, something happened that led to her identity being switched in a cyborg body as a European woman. And I don't know what to say. It's that I don't know why people are up in arms about it if they have not read that part of the manga or anime, but well, that's what I've heard, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, if yeah, I mean like at that point like it's kind of like how people like I guess the context is everything and like understanding why like a certain change was made. Like them having Scarlett Johansson play the main protagonist and being oh it's an Asian character, but then like like in the actual story like oh no they modeled this, was it like an android, is that pretty much what she is
Cyborg, to be
like
honest, yeah.
cyborg, yeah. I mean I don't know what the difference is between android and cyborg, but
Androids are like robots, cyborg are like people with machines. Yeah,
oh okay, so that's the difference, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so like I mean, yeah, like in if in the actual like story, like they modeled this cyborg to be, after like European like features and whatnot, then now that they're being, they're being true to like the story. It's kind of like I think when you have those two different stories, the one that we talked about previously and in this story, it's kind of silly how that looks. Where like, you know, they were mad for the prior movie that what it was. You said Doctor Strange, right? That was the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're mad at that and that selection of like a Celtic woman over a Tibetan monk. They're mad at that because it wasn't being true to the story, but then they're still mad at Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. They're mad at that because they're being true to the story. So it's like conflicting, you know what I mean? Like contradicting like arguments. Uh, yeah, kind of. I think for the most part, like it's just being outraged for the sake of being outraged. Like as soon as they give, as soon as someone's given like the okay kind of really like oh they see something on the surface it looks like they're whitewashing like certain characters, people are like okay this is it right here. um like I said we gotta be mad at this without doing any further research as to why. Yeah.
All right. Right. Yeah. Uh, all right. We're about almost in 10 minutes in, so let's go to my next example. The character no. Uh, right. You haven't seen Endgame yet, right?
No, I haven't seen Endgame.
Yeah. Apparently. apparently Robert Downey Jr. He is stepping down on the role of Iron Man, and people are asking like who's going to replace Tony Stark, whatever. And in the comics, there is an answer. A character called Ironheart, which is like a young genius black girl who who became a character called Ironheart based around Iron Man in the comics. However, people have been speculating this, and even though we don't have much info about it, but people are speculating that in Endgame, Tony Stark has a daughter. Her name Morgan. She is a white girl. People are up in arms because they're speculating that that the character, that white girl, might become Ironheart, who is originally a black girl. That is what?
But in the original, like in the comic or whatever, like does Tony Stark have a daughter in
Not to
the
my
comic?
knowledge, no. Actually,
And
who
this is, I don't know. I think at this point it's a big like it's a reach to say, oh, this will be Ironheart.
Yeah,
You know, I think they'd have to wait and see what goes on. You know, like to I don't know, to preemptively like say, oh, yada yada yada, shouldn't be this way, blah blah blah. But like that's just like assuming a situation that may not even happen.
right. I'm more pissed off. To me, all this stuff is being said by white people who are up in arms about stuff. To me, like
I think white people are more offended for black people than black people are. Honestly, like
yeah,
it's perhaps it's like their way of like I don't know. I think a lot of people get caught up in being social justice warriory and trying to like I don't know, be some sort of like hero in a sort of like self-involved like drama that they don't really need to have.
I actually do
Um,
remember the news about before Mario Odyssey came out. People are up in arms over the fact that Mario is wearing a sombrero and a poncho in the game. Yeah,
that's funny. Who's what like? So at what point do we not pay like homage to like different cultures at that point? You know, like can we cancel Cinco de Mayo then? Can we cancel St. Patrick's Day? Can we like we should like no, we're not allowed to like you know what I mean like celebrate like any kind of like differentiate like different like culture or whatever. No. Like no, only they can celebrate like their own thing. That's it. No one else can touch it. That's so dumb. Like okay, do it's if Mario's wearing a freaking sombrero and a poncho. He didn't say all Mexicans are like this. He doesn't say anything. He just fucking plays it in the game. Excuse me for my language. He just plays the game. Like he's in this little area. Clearly, it's inspired by like a Mexican city or whatever. He's wearing a little sombrero, a little hat. Did he say all Mexicans are like this? No, I don't think anyone said that. So why are people mad? It's just like a little fun, like little like area